I called you and left you a message because you've had a FOIA that's been sitting on that table for.
Yes, I got the message, and again, so he's been so busy, and I told Kathy last week, that he would pick up. He's been busy
Oh, okay.
all 3 days.
Well, I called it, I was like, I got a message.
And well, and when I got home, I had to go to bed.
Oh.
So, and
Okay, well, it's still there. You still want it?
Sorry. Smell them, open up that door, and smell it.
Mouse smell, dead mouse.
There?
I've never seen a mouse in here.
Oh, I don't know.
Trust me, it's dead. I opened that door
Could smell it.
Wednesday and I was like, oh.
Oh.
And then like, I thought maybe it was like that little toilet that's in that little bathroom, but it's not.
You gotta keep that flush,
It is flush. And I.
so the water stays in there.
I love that. But Sam's gonna have to move all that crap.
Because that's the emergency shelter. Gotta get the light fixed in there, and then we gotta get a fan.
Well, if Sam is, or Jesse are here Monday, then I'll have them move all the stuff. And I'll clean it out, clean it good, but. Yeah, the whole, I just do the whole entire. Top to bottom, but remember, once you get into a hole the size of a pencil eraser, and then underneath the doors.
Oh, well, all the others. Oh, yeah, the letter? Yeah, is there anything, 15%? What is this? Oh, I don't need. Yeah, okay. The only thing that was different was it had the list of residents. Oh, okay. And it had the 100 part on it, which we consider camping. You want a copy of that? This is the letter. Oh, wait, yes. Okay. No, because these two numbers they put on the quote. Yes. I'm sure.
Or do you want to wait till the regular meeting for that? 'Cause I did.
The only thing I want to discuss here is like,
Okay, no, I'm just passing it on.
I mean,
You could, well, you can keep it, put it, because I'm just gonna put it in your box.
oh, okay. Oh,
I'm just reading.
You said we're not supposed to interrupt the meeting.
well, we're not having a meeting yet.
Oh, we're here.
You can talk.
Nothing to say.
If you have some big place.
You're up. Congratulations.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Okay, who's out there?
If he stays here, yes, that's what he does, you know, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're like, you probably don't know what we're doing tonight.
Messages, advertising, or defined items.
Times really good feature prices on items and
Maybe.
Says delivery scans will also. Proposing research, sending out text to explain. Starting to still.
don't put don't put many information. Definitely encourage everybody to go to the website, delivery service correctly.
Experts say each price before you click on a link. State you from becoming a scam victim. Until
Fixing up its business model. Soon, big plans to store into an on-time delivery hub. The best retailer is
Nice day. Oh, beautiful. I know. We're gonna pay you. We're gonna pay.
That little desk I was using.
You did?
Yeah, that's why I moved the table over here. And I'm like, oh God, it's so friggin' obvious. Yeah. Get out. So,
Hey, that's good.
yeah, it picked up again. For weeks, I wasn't able to. So I used my phone, the video on my phone, and I ran back.
Yeah.
David's trying to find the file so he can upload it for me. I thought I'd put it in the cloud. Then I said, no, try my OneDrive. It's labeled Weber Township.
Yeah.
And so he's looking for it from the last meeting. But as long as this keeps working, that's why I sit over here.
Yeah.
I'm sure they accused me of stealing inventory. So, just because I got the fancier toys. Oh, yeah. Should have read the house. Because it's
This is a sticker program that Independent had where you could pick up large items.
Yeah.
Nobody says shit about that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm glad you brought it. A little piece of metal sticking out. I know, I need some special tools or something. My fingernails aren't cutting it.
Nice. I never. Well, you're gonna have to have your husband take care of that.
I caught it on my backpack.
Fingernail clippers.
Oh, good idea.
Sure.
Okay. I knew if I talked to enough people, somebody would give me a good idea
Yeah.
how to fix that.
Yeah.
I've got a copy of all the residents for seat taxing and address.
I sent it through 4 days.
One of the pages says that we have 17. We have 1,745 camp cards out there. This is our tax roll. Time's up. Where does that come to? Our census came in at population of 937, and that's population. That's not households, that's population. That's 200 households, what it was. Okay, all right, so I'm having a problem. Trying to figure out where these 1,100 cards are going. Yeah.
Think I should tell Dan about this?
He knows. I think he knows. Okay, go tell him. Go tell him. Because he's working on a thing now, so.
I don't even know if it's still on set.
Yeah. Pat mentioned there's large item pickup about 2 meetings ago.
Oh,
We just have to get those stickers. And it's every so often that they do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't driven. I've used it before. Well, I haven't used it. This is 2019.
Wow. Yeah. Sticker. Oh, cool. Okay.
Another ad in the paper correcting the other reading.
Did they?
Wow. And they changed the ad. And they're having it the 27th, which is like 11 days out.
No, it says 15. They can't. They'll find out.
And they put in there 33 planning commission voted.
Oh. 33.
Nobody reads this shit.
I just got the paper. All I did was see the first part of it, and I didn't get any further because I was busy all day.
Take a good look at that ad because it's all screwed up again. They changed it. They put in there where the lawyers disqualified part of the ads.
Well, who does it say put the ad out?
Huh?
Who does it say put the ad out?
Kathy.
Oh,
Nobody proofreads them.
I know. It's bad. It's real bad. And now that I've learned so much, it's like, because when I first got here, I didn't know squat. And then I was treated like a little kid. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
They didn't even put, they put corrected copy or something, but they didn't.
Wow.
So now you got two different.
Ads. Jeez, oh jeez. Oh well.
Did they say corrected or cancel the other meeting or nothing?
Wow. That's sad.
I think Jackie and Nikki are getting paid.
Probably. Oh, it's 6 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kelly? Here. Pat?
Here.
Green?
Present.
Dan?
Here.
Deb? Here.
Probably to add our agenda with our new clerk, new deputy. Oh, sorry. Welcome.
Thank you.
Put that on before we go into the right now. That's all we need to add. Okay. Motion to approve the agenda with the addition.
Oh, I'm sorry, actually, I would like to ask, can we have a discussion about this, piece that,
Okay. Down there after the steel bids.
Yes.
Three.
yes.
Okay. Now, to approve the agenda with those two versions. That one is fourth, and no. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Carried.
Deb, you've already been sworn in. Yeah, what the hell?
Shortest to choose Nikki for a.
Oh, she's gonna swear on Nikki. Oh,
Why not?
it's on.
It's just gotta be up to the face.
Okay, so, we all approve Nikki.
No,
So it's my honor to swear Nikki in as my deputy. My dear, please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Deputy Clerk of Weber Township. That I, wait, right here,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Deputy Clerk of Weber Township
in and for the township
the Township
of Weber, County of Lake, in the state of Michigan,
in the state of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Oh, don't worry. Well,
Okay. Now let's get to the meat of this thing here. Before you, act from Thursday night, we had accepted 3 sealed bids for the refuge service contract, which is this December 31st, I believe. And before you, you should have those bids. There was some discrepancy here. That we have a list of 478 residents, and we have 150 part-time residents. We've got a one gentleman that's questioning that he has 1,145 carts out there in the township. I'm wondering, do campers have carts out there? Is that what the problem is? I know that campers are not supposed to have carts, just households.
Who you talking to?
I guess I'll address, anyone.
Okay, here's a 20-page list of the carts that we have out in the township right now. And on this list, there's 1,150 carts. And we pick up a lot of residents that are, have their own cart. And we pick up a lot of residents that have their own box. And we pick up a lot of residents that have put out just bags only. So this is a letter that was produced by Weber Township originally back in 2011. And this is what Republic and our company bid in 2011. This reads that the township represented to us bidders that there was 1,458 residential properties to supply carts to. Here's a copy of the letter. I'd like to give it to you.
What year, Daryl, did you say?
What's that?
What year was that letter?
This is from 2011. That was produced by your zoning administrator.
Oh, man.
No, I'm A1,
Okay,
and I think the Smith and A1 are Republic is here.
okay.
The reason why I'm addressing this right now is he came up with the 1,100 figure, and we bid it out for 478 residential people plus 150 part-time residents.
Yeah, and to be fair to the other bidders, you should tell them how many there actually is. Because if they think that there's only 478, we have six trucks in the township, and we pick up over 30 tons of trash every week. And there's approximately 1,900 people, and each person produces about 4.5 pounds of waste or one garbage bag a week. And if you do the math, it equates to about 30 tons of trash a week. That's a lot of trash. And if they were bidding for only 500, that would be a third as much as we pick up. So I just want to make sure that they're aware of that.
I'm puzzled that our 2020 census only shows a population of 937 people. So that's more carts than people.
The census that I have, Bernie, from the 2020 census that I took for Weber Township, shows 1,890 people. When I talked to the census pollers, I went and interviewed them, and they said that there was a lot of people that they couldn't get to comply with the census. So they thought there was probably anywhere from a couple hundred to maybe 500 to 600 people that didn't comply with the census because they don't answer their door, they don't return their mail.
I thought that census included the inmates.
It did.
Right, so that's the inmates they're talking about.
No, the census I'm talking about is the one for the residents. Okay, the next document I have is the equalization. And equalization, this is the equalization. This document says there's 27 pages in equalization. This gives the names and addresses of all the properties that are, and there's 1,500 and some, which is more than when you did it in 2011. There's 1,564 active, either single family or that. So you need to supply, carts to these people. You need to make sure you can pick up their trash. And again, I think it in the last few years, I talked to Todd Harlan, representative from, Republic last time, and he was aware that there's over 1,000 carts out there, plus there's over 1,000. Ernie, not all these people are here all year round. There's some seasonal people, there's some recreational people, but you have to be able to service them. I'm not gonna say that we pick up, in the dead of winter, 1,500 people. There's not. There's a lot of snowbirds that are gone. But again, in fairness, you have to be able to pick up that many people if they're all here. And in the summertime, the trash goes up in tons into the 34 to 35 tons per week. And that's a lot of trash. And to just get rid of that trash, you need to, you need to have your numbers right, or you're not gonna be able to.
That's why we brought that up now.
Yeah,
Before we
it's
even
a
get
good
into
point.
the estimate.
I'm glad you're doing it now. It's, and I wanted to bring it to your attention that you need to be fair to everybody bidding so that they're aware of what they're bidding.
I don't see anything here that's vacant land either.
No, those are all being single houses or homes. Ernie, I'm just telling you, we spend,
There are 1,400 improved properties, but when they say improved, I don't know what's.
that's equalization,
there.
that's the equalization right from Lake County. I have a census, I have equalization, I have your own zoning report for 2011. I have the proof of doing the work, I've been doing the work for years, and I know what we pick up. I have the weight slips from each week when we pick them up. I know what it takes, it's a big job. And I hate to have somebody think it's a third as much work as it is. As advertised, it's a lot less.
Yes.
I was just gonna say, Ernie, that census is how many people, not how many houses. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, when the census came out, it was 937. And, households is what, Matt has there is 478.
Those are the people that live here only. Those are homestead.
Those are
Those are
homestead.
homestead.
Those aren't rentals,
Those are,
and second homes, summer homes.
No, those aren't.
Right.
478 are people who are homesteading here. The 150 were the extra cottages.
Right.
But not, I know what he's,
But we have to take into account rental homes as well, this is not in count. Now, but the census also says housing units, unit occupancy is 1,300. Housing units.
right. Right here's the occupancy of the units from the census. It says 1,393 units.
Right.
And this is from the census of this year, or the last census that was taken.
I got some new figures on here, but I believe.
Yeah, this is what, the 13 is what? 13,
1,393.
what's that letter from the original? That, you just set aside. You just set it aside.
I was here in 2011 when we bid it, and when we bid it, that's how many we were supposed to be able to supply carts to, service to. There was at that time, there was 3,800 parcels. And a lot of, in the last,
Yeah, we still have the parcel. but-
well, no, a lot of people have condensed those parcels. A lot of those parcels have been condensed. And another thing too is when I took the Lake County, one from the equalization department, there are some parcels that are not used or they're zeros because they're either held by the county or the township that are housing units. But those units, I took off 126 units off to get to the 1,564, which makes sense that you've increased by 100 or so in the last 10 years.
Did you take off the ones for the village as well?
They're all, that's all inclusive of all of our township. No, I didn't.
Yeah, but you got the village on that one. It's, he could be right here. There's I was thinking like, you know, they still have people that have houses that are all falling down, and they're still paying taxes for that house, and that's an improvement. Although it's a shack that's all paved in, that's an improved property. So, I mean, I know there's not that many things like that around here, but there's quite a few that people don't use the trash service.
Right, and I would agree that there's hundreds of people that have those.
It could be 1,000, it could be around, I don't know how else to hold it up. Now, I have an idea in my head, I don't know what.
Excuse my ignorance, but those who have vacant land or have campers do not have containers, is that correct? They use vans?
Yeah, we supply a container to a camper by renting it to them. And we also supply them budget bags, which you ask for a price or a bag. And the purpose of that is so that we tell campers no. So if we tell a camper you have to go get a camping permit. For years, you didn't have anything going with campers. So the reason you want them to be told no is so that they come in and get the camping permit. Once they pay for their camping permit, you guys usually provide them some bags to use through the summertime so that they can get picked up, and when we see the bags out, we pick them up. You know, the township doesn't charge the campers for them, they provide it as a service, so campers get a service. And that service costs a very meager amount over the whole year. Because when we give them a case of bags, you get 200 bags. And depending on how many people apply for their camping permit is how many bags you hand out. And again, there's a lot of people that they don't want to pay for a camping permit. Well, if they don't want to pay for a camping permit, they're actually in violation of camping. They shouldn't be camping, should they?
This document that you gave me.
We bought $2,500 worth of bags.
So you're saying this number, this 1,393 includes units which are probably not occupied. But it also.
Again, Ernie, I just know how many carts we put out there. I know how many tons we pick up. I know how many, and it equates to a population of about 1,900 people. It equates to, we have 1,150 carts out there. There might be some duplications in those. I have some pictures of our files. Our files are this wide in the drawer, and there's thousands of pieces of paper in there because each person that signed for a cart, we registered on the cart. We initially gave the township 250 carts back in 2011 that they gave out to the people. And then over the years, we've fixed them and replaced them. So there could be some duplication in my figures, but it's just not that much. I'm just trying to let you make the other bidders aware. I'm trying to be fair to everybody. You don't want to get hit with a, well, I bid 500 and I'm picking up 1,000. Well, my bid needs to double to cover.
That's why we wanted to get this answer before we move forward.
Yeah, this is probably the most important part of this whole conversation.
One thing that we're seeing on this list provided is that.
Can't hear you.
One thing looking, one thing looking at this list that you provided, you see that several of these properties listed have 0 square footage.
Yeah, I didn't count those. Those, all the zeros were subtracted. I subtracted 120.
Not this.
The square footage
The
zeros.
square footage.
There was 126 zeros that I subtracted. Well, okay, I subtracted 126 off the page. There were 61 people on a page. There's 27 pages. It totaled up to like 1,690 some units. And I took off 126 of them because there were zeros. And zeros are
How many
zeros.
cans
I didn't
does
know how
that
to make
make?
zero either.
Nikki had a comment.
No, I was just saying like that, he's saying about the camping permit and the garbage, he's acting like that's like a thing together, and it has nothing to do with it. Because remember, when
1140.
you came in here last time, that lady who wrote a letter to the board, we've had quite a few people call in who are people that have like, vacant properties that like camp on them. Extremely upset that they pay the same as what a homeowner does, but yet they were told they had to use the blue garbage bags and not their own garbage. Even though their neighbor had a garbage can, so the garbage truck was going down there anyway, and they weren't allowed to use their own garbage can or whatever. And that's multiple, complaints that have came into the township over that. And if you remember, I told you, I own 2 houses. I have one house that has a garbage can that it's never been used, ever. Lady down the road from me has 2 of them not being used. So I mean, like, there are people, when it comes to the vacant land, highly upset on not being able to get garbage picked up.
Again, it was a choice of how, this bid requested that we bid 478 households. There's more than 478. If you wanna count the campers, start throwing in campers. Then add all the vacant parcels on, throw them in there too. If everybody wants trash service, let the bidders bid what you want. If, back when we bid it before, when we bid it the last time, 4 years ago, we didn't bid to provide service to campers. You didn't have as many campers back in those days. It was before COVID. You had an extreme amount of hundreds of campers show up in the last couple of years that were never here before.
It sounds like what he's trying to say is, what you put out there for a bid is incorrect,
I see that.
and he's proven that.
So we either have to have our people modify their bids again, or we rebid the whole process over again.
Well, why don't you ask them what they bid now? Just, are they aware of that?
The guy over the summertime. On Tuesday, twice. To go count cans, so I knew how many cans I was in for, and then that's the number that came up with
545.
And then I hired them for 2 weeks in a row in the summertime to follow them around, go down every single road, and that's the number of cans we came up with. So I felt your number was fairly accurate.
We're not that far off.
So where is the discrepancy? Where is the, I mean, this is, we're talking twice as much.
This is a actual count.
Well, this is an actual count because we have signed contract for this list of people. That's the people. I don't care who follows you around. They didn't follow you around every driver. You had 6 guys following around 6 different drivers. That's pretty funny.
We just went out and counted cars, whether they were in the yard or not.
Were they in the garage, were in the yard, were they out that week, were they not? You know.
Was it cards or was it just the places where you
Yeah,
picked up?
how about the people that didn't have a cart? Did you count their own carts? Did you count the bear boxes? Did you count how many people you gotta pick up? There's a lot of people here to pick up. I'm trying to help you.
No, I just, as far as the carts go, that's. The
We have,
in the middle of the summertime.
I
So we
have,
felt your numbers were fairly accurate.
I have all the documentation that I can bring in that shows that those carts were delivered.
This only has a total of 899.
How come so many different figures?
Ernie, the first load of carts was delivered to the township. We brought a semi van here, and we also delivered carts. The township gave out 250 carts back in 2011.
That's when this came out.
That's everything after that point. After that first load of carts, that's the tracking of everything after that first load of carts. Because after that, the township didn't want to be responsible for the carts because of the cost of the carts. And the township, we made an agreement to give them a letter, we provide them a document, and the township gave out the documents, we gave out documents, the people signed it, they put their name, their address, and that's a list of the names and addresses that we have on our file.
So if someone followed the pickups,
We didn't follow, we just ran the roads for 2 weeks in a row to see what carts were out, and took 2 different routes, and,
okay,
because I wanted to verify some of your numbers
sure.
and everything else, so I invested my time into making sure that the bid was appropriate. Because if you were that far off,
Yeah,
we wouldn't have comments, or I would have.
so I have neighbors that come up maybe a week out of a month, maybe a week out of 2 months. So those carts are never out, but they're still there.
And there's a few of those that we probably do this, but when I hired the guy to do it, I said, if you see them in the driveway, see them in the backyard, just count them, so if they do put them out, we're aware. So
Okay,
that doesn't mean there was that count, every single cart was out.
Yeah.
But it's fairly close to the numbers you're representing, so.
I think with that being said, that we should actually speak with our other contractor here and see what his opinion is. Yeah, and if they're across the board satisfied with their bids, then I think that we can move on.
Let them go on.
So,
I mean, we bid it for the numbers provided. I mean, if we're within reason of that, I don't think there's an issue with our bid. You start getting larger quantities, well, then that, and it's gonna find out if Weber Township makes a change in 6 months and a year, it's gonna be, that company to audit what they have. And if there is a large discrepancy, it is something that we would have to come back and talk about that discrepancy and come together on what that looks like moving forward. We are happy with the bid we provided. It is for the numbers that were given to us. I know there's some contradicting information on how many there are. But we can only provide what, we're gonna quote what you provided us. We're not gonna go quote here nor there.
so with that being said, are you comfortable with the bid that you provided based on the information that you received?
Yes.
Are you comfortable, Ron?
There's another question, and everybody's good.
Thank you so much.
Have my information.
This just from accounting on the list, I was going by the square footage, I wasn't going to answer that, and I was going by the square footage of zeros, and there's 326 zeros. And just flipping through, I see 184 square feet, 200 square foot, I'm sure that that's not a residence, so, as it says,
All right, well, this total goes to 1,700.
I know.
And if you take 300 off, it's still
Right, it's
1,400.
1220.
Okay,
And
but
then there's still,
it's
no,
not,
I've said that for the record, just so.
it's not 478.
All right. I made a checklist of bring apples to apples. The only, if I did A1 services, the discrepancy we had here, they have 1,145 residents, and it was bid out for 478. Agreed to go weekly, towards holidays, following day, after the holiday. A large item pickups, the third Tuesday, and they have both tags. Their fuel base is now $4.30. I assume that's diesel, and then $3.40 for gas, correct? Okay. There is no fuel surcharge. I didn't see one. Is there?
After your base. After your base.
There is a fuel charge.
What's that?
That's what that is.
That's what that means.
So if the gas goes up higher than that, we pay.
Oh,
That's
okay,
the
so there is a fuel charge, so
We all have that.
okay, so that's the base, okay.
when it goes over $4.30 a gallon. We keep track of it, and I'll give it, every 25 cents costs approximately $80 per week.
So what do you actually charge the township?
For in the fuel, we look at it in the rears. We take what the actual fuel costs are off of our receipts for purchases. We average them, and then we, as the fuel cost goes, if it's under $4.30 a gallon, no fuel surcharge. Or no, we call it a recovery charge, because we don't charge it in advance or at the current month. We do it bearing our receipts as a recovery charge. We charge it for the past month, not the current month.
Right, so what is the fee though? How much is it? What is the fee that you charge once it's $4.30?
We charge the actual cost of the fuel differentiation between $4.30 a gallon to $4, in every 25 cents averages about $80.
So if it's the price of gas is $4.68.
If it went up to
50 cents.
25 cents, if it was $4.55, we charge you $80 every day times 4 days a month, 4 weeks a month, would be a total of $320 for 25 cents fuel surcharge or recovery charge.
In the previous, the contract that we have now, it was $2.80.
It was
Yeah,
$2.40 and $2.80.
Yeah, so that's what you should.
Yeah. We've absorbed all that because we know what our current fuel costs. We did the difference, make so that you don't, currently, if the fuel cost stays the same or goes down, you don't have any fuel surcharge. For a few years, Ernie and Pat and the board, you guys had no fuel surcharge because we were within those costs that were on our rates that we based it on.
How many total miles do you think we have in Weber Township? Just the Weber Township. I'm not saying that the transit.
Ernie, we're not keeping track of miles, in fact, keeping track of gallons of fuel used. It doesn't relate to miles. It relates to, a truck is out there setting, those big garbage trucks get 3 to 4 miles a gallon. And if they're setting in the wintertime at a stop, idling, they burn fuel just as well as they're traveling. It doesn't have a ratio to mileage.
Also, there wasn't any mention of the park pickup, we're gonna have trash pickup in the park.
Yeah, the parks picked up, the top village halls picked up. They're currently picked up within our bid. We don't have an extra charge for that, they're included.
And we have a 2% increase then.
Every year, our rates go up 2%, and that's for cost of living increase.
With the mention of recycling, is that anything in your?
Recycling we are big in recycling in Lake County. We perform a recycling day once a month in Lake at Pleasant Plains Township. They're open to having other townships bring recyclables there. We take the recyclables to the Osceola County Recycling Center, and we donate the materials there. They process them and they recoup the funds. And we've been doing that and participating with the Osceola County Recycling System for a total of almost 20 years. And if the township's interested in it.
I just want to mention that, because it's gonna come.
Oh, it's right on the burner right now. The Act, 115 Act. Yeah, the 115 Act is requiring landfill facilities to do more recycling.
Yeah, there's also nothing in your opinion about big item steps.
The large items, we pick up couches, TVs, we pick up everything, and we have a sticker system that we provide, and the cost is, we give each resident 2 items that can be picked up every month, And the two items could be either two 50-pound items, or you can pick out 100 to 150-pound item. Because a couch weighs 200 to 300 pounds. If it's a height of it, it might even weigh more. And you can put 2 stickers on it, and we haul it away.
And what is the cost of that? Because that's not actually included in this.
It's $8 per sticker.
And it's 2 stickers per couch?
Yep, 2 stickers per couch, and then we pick up 2 smaller to medium-sized items and 2 large, or 1 large item, and the 1 large item is a big console TV, a couch, or appliance, whatever it is, and we pick it up for $16 is what we charge.
And that charges to the township, not to the resident.
It's charged to the township. And over a couple year period, you guys know what you paid, it's been real reasonable, it works really well. It's gotten,
I don't remember paying the sticker thing at all.
well, you paid it, we totaled it up over a 2-year period.
Can
1
we do
year.
that more than every 2 years?
Yeah, it's a couple, we wait till we get quite a few stickers before we charge you. We get
I know,
500-600.
We'd like to put, because we kind of, by now, we have a pretty much average of what we give away here.
Right.
And we'd like to budget for that, because that's gonna be in addition to this cost.
Right.
And we need it more than every 2 years.
I would say your budget should include approximately, from the past 4 years of doing it, the total that we've charged for it, I would say, let me do some quick math.
I don't ever remember seeing it itemized on the bill.
It came on some past invoices when we charged for this. We waited till we got 500 to 600 stickers before we sent you a bill. And it isn't every month. It was, yeah, we gave out stickers to a lot of we produced them and gave them out to a lot of residents. I would say that we gave out far more than has ever been turned in. But we actually pulled the stickers off, we stick them to an empty piece of paper, we keep them as a record so that we can bill you for what people turn in. We don't bill for what we give out, we bill for what we pick up.
Because I was about 200 in the past year that we've given out here.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that all those 200 have been turned in. You know, I would say.
I mean, we can, here we do that, but we only give out 2 at a time because that's all you can put out that week. So when they come in here to get their 2 stickers, they have something to put out.
Right.
So that would get picked up. But I don't know, if you could, I'd like to know what you've charged us for the sticker stuff, because I've never
Yeah, let
seen
me
that on the bill.
try to create an average here, okay?
Yeah, that would be great, because we have in the past paid someone else for the large.
But this last year, we had Smith Dumpsters did that for this past year, the year before, he did it on the whole month of May. And that was a large item, but then we also had problems getting that first year we did it billed in our budget. So we had 2 $25,000 bills in 1 year's budget. And we should have had 25 and 25. So I'm just asking him to bill that stuff more regular, I guess.
My question is, I understand why it was separate originally, because it was added on after the contract. But why is it not in the bid now?
That was gonna be my next question, is spring cleanup gonna be in your bid? Is it in your bid this year, or is that gonna be something extra?
It would be something extra. Yeah, I provided an estimate sheet all the past years. In 2019, we did a 2-day cleanup. The total cost for that 2-day cleanup that was billed to you was $4,700. We skipped 2020 because of COVID, and in 2019, we did a 6-day cleanup, and that 6-day cleanup total was $21,000 some dollars, not 25. 21,000. And then we waited another year and we did a 6-7 day cleanup. The total bill for that 6-7 day cleanup was again, right around $21,000. We had a budget that we were trying to hit around 20,000. We were within $1,000 of our budget, but we gave you an itemized bill for each year of cleaning it up.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Now we'll move on to the public.
Wait, I have a question for Pat. So how much does the taxpayers, houses or vacant property pay? How much does the township get from the taxpayers every year for our revenue?
138.
It's
We have 3,000.
Whether there's a residence there or not.
3,000.
2,975 parcels get charged $50.
On a bill, there, it is itemized, it says here, township bulk pickup stickers from October of 2020 to November of 2022. That was a 2-year period. So it is itemized on here.
How much was
It
it?
was $8 a sticker. It was 538 stickers for $4,300.
If you take the 4,300 and divide it by 24 months, it's less than $200 a month.
Right, but it is itemized on the bills.
Yeah,
If you look at the bills.
And that's for picking up couches, appliances, large items,
Yeah.
or 2 medium-sized items. That's a pretty good bang for your buck. Because we're charging by weight, not by item.
And that's minus the large item pickup that goes on in June or May.
May.
That's minus.
Okay. So you don't have a problem with the amount and the bid for the 478 residents?
That's correct.
And you can do this once a week for us?
Absolutely.
So do you do the large item and what's the whole, says here, with a bulk tag? provided?
That's correct. We provide township office bulk tags.
Okay.
So let's say we gave you 500. And each home would be allowed 1 bulk item removal per month. And they would come to the township and get their 12 tags for the year and use them throughout the year as they choose. And so the township would distribute those bulk tags. We would not send them to a resident. They would come here to collect them, and then you would have transparency on how many bulk tags are going out per year.
You would bill us like.
That is included in the quote we provide. So we provide those tags at no additional cost to what was quoted on the quote.
And there's no additional cost for the fees.
That is correct. It's included in the proposal. Yep.
And your fuel base is based on $4.50, is that just diesel or
That is just diesel.
you have gas operating?
No, that is just diesel only, and it is just, I mean, I provided a chart, in the proposal package that, I mean, you guys have calculated, this is the same page I did. You know, for every penny it goes over 450, you're looking at 0.04% charge. So 0.04% on 193, equals 451, $77 that month. But it does need to average over 450 for a 4-week rolling average, so that doesn't allow, and we don't want to go back and forth either taking on the charge, taking off, but if it goes over a 4-week average, that's a trend. And so at that point, you would start assessing the fuel recovery charge. If diesel goes below 450 for a 4-week rolling average, we would then remove that charge.
And then you got an increase of about 5% annually, or we're actually 5.5.
5.5.
5.4.
Yeah.
And like I said, we do have a park to pick up, by the way.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you and I talked
And
about
welfare,
that, that we would include that at the.
Yeah, and it's really, usually that's, May to October.
Yeah.
That's when we usually have it, because we reserve our park.
Yep.
And that's when we get a lot of activity. The carts, you said you will make available carts for the residents.
Yes, that's correct. I would be carding of the residents, and we're anticipating around 478. If we're somewhere close to that, not gonna be a huge issue. Would we card additional above the 478 to begin with? Absolutely, we get everyone a cart. But again, if it's turned into 550, 600, we probably end up doing an audit 6 months, a year down the road, and would come back to present that information and findings. But each resident would get one cart. Each resident.
Yep. You're aware of the recycling that's coming down the pipes.
Yeah, I'm very involved with that in the county. I'm on a solid waste committee now, and I am aware of what the state is doing. With the mandates that each county is to have 7 sites throughout the county for recycling. I've been very involved in the Montcalm County's recycling program for a while. We've deployed, I think we have 6 sites now that we've converted from front load recycling sites to compactor sites for the residents to use. So I am very familiar with that. Is that something that I actually left the voice on for the sheriff today? So I got a message that he had reached out to us. And we certainly can provide options. There's no doubt about it.
Will that impact our contract?
That would be with Lake, I mean, my understanding with the state, that's gonna be with the county, Lake County versus Weber Township. So even if Weber Township per se had a recycle site, you know, it's the county that is responsible.
So, okay.
Yep.
It won't have any impact on us.
No, not unless Weber Township decides that you want to, through ordinance, enforce recycling through each resident.
Would you, can I ask, if there was a regular trash bag, a black bag on some vacant property, would you pick it up?
I mean, we would like to keep everything uniform. I mean, we would like to see a cart, if it's a cart, we'd like to see it in a Republic cart. If it's gonna be a bag, we provide the township, the budget bags to provide that. So I mean, there may be some struggles with some change there, but the goal would be to have it uniform. It's not quantifiable to the township. You know how many bags you sold because you sold them. We wouldn't want to be picking up extra. Would the driver do it? He could. But is it what we'd be wanting to set up in the guidelines? No.
Well, so if a camper was there quite often in the summer, didn't want to do bags, he wanted a dumpster, we don't provide that. If he bought his own dumpster, would you pick that up?
I think we would be able to work something out like something like Daryl does, where they could rent a cart from us, you know, and pay us individually to pick it up that way, or they could provide or use the budget bags that the township provides them. See, I don't see why someone would use their own black bag when you guys provide the bags for them. They don't have to pay for them. They're actually kind of nice bags. Why not? Ideally, no, we're not. That's not what our goal is setting up this program. Would be to collect a black bag here. You know, we'd like to have a uniform. You have the Republic blue card, or you use the budget bag that is free of charge. So then they come to you, to my understanding, if they come to budget.
And you would require them to use your cart so that they're all uniform?
That's correct, yes.
That-
What happened with, you know, personal property, we run into times with breaks, the dents, and now we're getting calls, now we're running the Menards or Home Depot to go replace that cart, and maybe it's not the satisfaction of what they wanted. So if we're using our own, we break our own, we just replace it, no problem.
It's easier for your equipment to pick up those cans.
Absolutely, and it does go with the equipment that we're using in the trucks as well. So they're designed for how adjustable trucks are, and they're designed for the systems that we're using to collect
And then anything on the large bulk item, acceptable like bulk items, that will all be picked up once a month.
Yep, correct, okay, yep.
I would like to note that, this does include mattresses on it in this cost, so that's one thing that. Being for individuals.
Well enough. And,
Yeah, the land operators don't like, they don't bring the equipment, and they don't contact well, but we take.
And then, a May or a spring cleanup will be actually pretty cool.
That's correct, so that would be an additional cost.
Yeah, I think I have a thought, so many of the things that we're getting screened up is actually included on this bulk items, would it even be necessary to do a screen cleanup?
It's just a thought, it just seems, I haven't been doing this forever, but it seems like townships or municipalities or cities, it seems most of the time have one or the other. Either they have the monthly bulk collection and no spring cleanup, or they have one big spring up.
They go away for the winter.
But it seems, it doesn't, they're not, everybody's not identical. What it seems.
I'm sorry, our battery just died.
Uh-oh.
Is it not?
Yeah, just turn it back. Yeah, just turn it back. I really don't. I feel like I've had the conversations there with Ernie and Pat, that, you know, some good discussion with questions I had.
That's why I'm bringing up these same questions.
Yeah, you know, I don't have any questions for you other than a few things that I'd like to leave out, regarding Republic. You know, we strive ourselves on safety, very important to us. We measure it. I'm sure every one of these haulers, you know, safety is important as well, but we measure it. We find we are 35% safer on average in the industry by rate of occurrence. We're going to be transparent in our charges and our billing. We're getting, you know, doing business with a durable company, who is reliable, measuring rates of pickup, 99.9% reliable. We're reinvesting these funds in our training, our drivers, our trucks, our equipment, resulting in some of the youngest fleet in the industry, 7 to 10 years younger on average. So you have quality looking trucks running down the street. One breaks down, we have another one coming that looks just like it, and in a good fashion and timing. So we have dedicated supervisors, and they're all trained very well. Some of the things I'd like to throw out that Republic frame with this. Thank you.
Yes, you're on. Okay, so you have no problem with the 478 then?
Yeah, no.
And once a week, what you guys do?
Yes.
Do that for us. Okay. Large item.
Yeah, so the large item is included in the bid.
Okay.
With basically everything on the one sticker list.
Okay.
Other than the mattresses and couches.
So you take mattresses? as well?
Other than the mattresses and couches.
So they're not extra?
That would be between us and the president.
Or-
They do not.
That's, mattresses and couches are not included in the bulk pickup.
Okay, so you will never do something between that and the homeowner.
Yes, us and the resident.
So you're saying a cost of the homeowner?
Yes. Yeah. But on your website, your list of one sticker items, basically it only includes all of that for the bulk pickup.
And then a fuel base of only $4 on there.
Yeah, so that's the average between diesel fuel and gasoline. And then we have the surcharge only based on 25-cent increments. So
And that's what we're involved in.
yes, yeah, so it's for we can up with for every 25 cents it'd be about $25.
So the 25 cents is not a percentage, it's like, if it goes up to $4.10, we get charged $4.25.
$25 for the pickup. For pickup period.
I'm not quite understanding.
Yeah, between, after 405,
Yeah.
it'll jump up to the 24, 25. But we figured out the mileage and every 25 cents, the surcharge is only $25. So if it jumps up to 425, you know, it's a $25 charge. If it drops up to 450, it's a $50 charge. It's, the increments are really easy.
Drops off, if the price comes down, the gas price comes down.
We haven't seen it go below. Yeah, it stays the same. It hasn't gone much below $4 in years.
And that's per day.
Pretty correct.
You're gonna do a clean, spring cleanup for us too?
Yes, yeah, that's included
In the,
240-yard dumpster and 120-yard metal.
That's included in this bid.
Correct.
How many days for spring cleanup?
That'd be a 1 day.
like a Saturday or something?
Yes, yep, 8 to 12.
Saturdays or
Yes.
It'd be an 8 to 12 supervised.
like we did last time.
Correct, but it'd be here at the township hall or our location.
We did last year, we did only one pickup load and we didn't take rental, for construction projects.
We can work those details out at a later date, but basically it'll be the same thing, correct?
So ideally, you would like to bring dumpsters here and they residents bring their.
Correct. We can do it here or our location blocks away, it doesn't matter to us.
You're not gonna pick up, you're saying?
Right, correct. That's
From 8 to noon, you're not gonna go pick up?
Not unless you wanted one, but if they bring it, we did it last year and if they can bring it to us. Yeah, and if you wanted to do something more like that, we can.
Well, I mean, I thought that the dumpsters are here for people who actually pick up and bring their stuff, but I wanna bring my stuff. for people who
So
just
we've
like,
done township cleanups here before where everybody brought their stuff to you. And that's what we're including in the pickup, so they can bring it,
Here,
they can bring it here.
but there'll be a separate charge if you run the roads again.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah,
did.
exactly, correct.
Let me ask you about your pickup. So in this bid, got 2 20-yard, 1 20-yard metal. But anyway, did this past pickup, put it this way, in your bid, you're gonna take away about 80 yards less than what you did this past summer. So you're actually gonna take less out of the township.
Well, and that was going door to door though, so you might not have the same amount of volume because they're bring it to you.
That's true.
But if we work with the zoning guy and he can knock on doors and send letters, I'll say, hey, there's a free day to pick that stuff up.
Right.
We've had really good, like most townships don't go out door to door. They say, hey, here's your letter, here's your letter, we need you to clean up the mess, bring it to the township. I mean, you're providing it for free to the residents. So all they have to do is bring it to, bring it here.
So your thoughts are in this bid that we'll probably have a little bit less.
Correct.
Yeah.
But we'll make arrangements, we'll have others available if it does turn out to be more valuable. But, it's done such a large job cleaning up the last few years. we don't anticipate a huge,
Well, I think if they have to bring it, you probably get less anyway.
and that's what we're anticipating. That's why we put it in the bid to include it, so it would help the township out with their cleanup. And we do have the large item pickup, so like the gentleman from Republic says, you know, if we're doing the large pickup all year long, there shouldn't be a whole lot of stuff out there to bring to your township.
Did you, you got bags to offer with campers?
We're not gonna require bags. If they're sitting out there, we'll stop and pick them up.
So you don't need a
You don't
bag
need,
or
you don't need a special bag. If it's out there and they're legitimate campers.
So if you see a bag on a piece of, that looks like a vacant land, you could scrap it.
And we don't want, you know, even if it fell off a truck or something, we usually stop and pick it up so we don't get blamed for dropping trash.
So we're gonna be free the cost of bags.
You won't have to buy bags, yes. And there won't be any hassle with them calling up or anything else. If it's out there, we pick it up.
You have like a 3%.
Your increase, you base your price on the 2023 landfill rates. If they increase, you're gonna increase.
We need to keep the cost low. We bid it at current prices, but
Okay.
with the mandates coming down from the state for the landfills and everything else, there could, if it's a minute charge, I'm not gonna worry about it, but if it's substantial, I'm pretty sure you'll see it from everybody if it's a substantial change.
I didn't see in your bid, one of the requirements was to make an arrangement. You verbally, I guess verbally you can tell us, but it's not in the bid. It asks that you, make available special arrangements for those residents for service and containers that are not accessible by regular pickup. Or would you handle that?
Correct. Well, yeah, that's a given.
Okay. So somebody call you, you can just make it happen.
Correct.
Okay.
Just probably no different than the special arrangements that are in place right now.
Okay.
I believe that was like for homes or roads that weren't plowed or something, you know, at the end of the road. I believe that's what that was.
I think so.
Yes, I think it was roads that weren't accessible.
They were not accessible. Yeah. So you put that in a bid just for our benefit.
You know, we want to make sure they don't get missed.
Correct. So, yeah, so there's a lot of roads that there's,
I know that there's
multiple containers at the end of the road.
big trucks can't make down some of them driveways.
Oh, so everyone, so part of the requirements is to offer containers per home. And so everyone did. Tell me about your container, your addendum. They're not free containers?
No, our containers are included.
Okay.
There was just an addendum in there if you so choose. If you're tired about worrying about dumpsters, if you want to, if Weber Township wanted to purchase them, so you would avoid this problem in the future, we would kind of lease to own them to you for the $200 a month.
Okay.
So it would say property of Weber Township, you know, serviced by Smith dumpsters. And at the end of the 3 years, you know, there'd be a 10%. And if you extended the contract, you owe them all right. So
if we don't want to purchase them, you'll just give them free to the residents, right?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just an added something that wasn't in the contract, but it seems to be an issue with the township, so I included it as an addendum.
So that'd be a consideration if we want to purchase them.
And you don't have to make that decision at this moment, you can do it at a later date.
But a homeowner could do like their own metal can too, would that work too? Or
Yeah, with servicing, yeah. We don't care whose container or what container.
as long as they're a resident of Weber Township, you know.
Exactly. They're following the rules, yes.
So a little bit side-by-side comparison. So Republic offers 96 gallon containers and pretty much the other two applicants are 90 gallon containers. Tuesday pickup is good, right? In case we're not going to change that date.
we maybe have to collect 2 days. May have to collect 2 days instead of 1. But that would be agreed on between the township and the public on the.
Will they be consecutive days or? But if you did that, we would have to inform the residents what particular area
Yeah,
is
we
going
would,
to be their day.
we absolutely create a map, put it on, distribute it through mail, website, hey, west side of this road is Tuesday, this side's Wednesday.
Or you can do
Yeah.
a district A, B, C.
Exactly, so I mean, it just takes some time to get used to, maybe it's a month, first few pickups, but then you get rolling with it, so.
So after 2024, each bidder has an increase, 5.5%, 3%, and 2%. It's almost out now. So, okay, but anyway, for a 3-year contract, and Pat put down some numbers. For a 3-year contract, the value of a 3-year contract for Republic is $613,900. For A1 is $470,000. For Smith dumpster is $476,000 for a 3-year contract. That's just basic without any extras.
Well, you didn't mention in our contract that we're offering recycling.
No, I've seen it in here.
Well, we're gonna have recycling available to the Weber Township residents at our facility during our normal business hours. Because that is coming down the loop, so whether the county's gonna mandate you to do it, or if the county's gonna take it over, at this time, we're getting prepared to hopefully work with the county too. But because we are located here, we have a retail site, there will be a site and we will be doing limited recycling. Includes the metals, the cardboard, like the clear plastics, we're gonna invest in balers. So we'll be able to bail them and, so that will be available to the township. And we are talking to, like, your county commissioner, Bob Sanders, about, talking to the county also.
So we, in the event that you would get the bid, we could put it in our, like a newsletter that they have free recycling opportunities.
Correct, but when we say recycling, they gotta recycle the correct way, not just bring us all kinds of garbage and say, in a bag, it's like, you need to separate it, you need to bring it to us and, appropriate, what the landfill, or not the landfill, what the recycling people want.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do it? I recycle weekly in Reed City.
We kind of model after that.
Kind of like that idea?
Yeah.
Okay, because everything has to be separated.
Everything has to be separated, the caps have to be off, yeah, there's a lot more to it, it's a lot more expensive than people realize, so we're gonna dab our feet in it. And if we get the contract, you're one of the first customers.
And when you say your facility, you mean? the one-
2640 East US 10, the transfer station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a mile and a half outside the township limit.
Okay.
The other packages have their insurance.
Yeah, we're insured. Oh, it didn't say I didn't include it.
No, it doesn't say you have to include it, but I just didn't see it, so I'm asking.
Upon request, I just have my insurance agent fax it over or email it over. That goes without saying, so.
I actually took the liberty of reaching out to DEQ regarding all 3 of our bids. Jim actually had very nice things to say about all of you. But he did kind of give me a rundown of compliance that you guys are currently, your compliance status, and just general feel for their company. For Smith Dumpsters, he said that when he was there in October, there was a compliance issue. It was small, but when he went back in June, in June, it was non-compliant, but then when he went back in October, everything I'm sorry, for Smiths. And then for A1, so he said that he explained this to me and kind of what their situation is, and correct me if I'm wrong. But he said, so they're currently technically not in compliance, but the issue is the property was purchased on a lien, and it was currently not compliant when it was purchased. But he did say that the current owner has made strides this past year in bringing it in compliance, and the things that are not currently compliant are structures on the grounds that just need to be addressed. So he said it's not an issue of, things not being handled properly, but simply just getting to the point where they're fully compliant. And then for public, he actually said, and I quote you, if every transfer station was ran like this one, he would be out of a job. So, just a little.
Really? What site? What we don't run it.
Specifically said Manistee.
You would be out of a job.
You wouldn't have to inspect it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That came from
I don't even say you be out of a job.
Oh.
I was complete opposite.
Oh, no, you were like, oh, I call it him for sure.
No, that's what I would expect to hear Republic runs it.
Yeah, he had very, spoke very.
Yes.
Kelly, what the details on what was out of compliance with?
He didn't specify, so he said that I could come and FOIA the information, or he can give me a general outlay.
He's not a compliant township also. And.
No matter who we choose, it looks like our assessment's gonna have to be adjusted, and that will,
Okay,
the cost of the
Assessment.
removal
Yeah.
has gone up, has gone up.
Yeah, with Smith, I did an average of the 3 years, and the assessment for the this year it's still $50, but it would have to go up to $53.40 at least.
53.40.
52. I'm
Yes.
moving.
If
52 here, 52.
I took the 3 years and I averaged it out for how much it would cost for those 3 years.
Okay.
Because we collect 52, then we're gonna be short on the third year. So we averaged 53.40 at Smith. A1, 52.66. And Republic is 68.79.
That's what we have to adjust our assessment.
Not in addition, it's instead of 50, it's 53.
No, that's two, because right now we're assessing $50. At one time, we had too much fund equity, we're not supposed to have. We're supposed to have just enough to pay the fee. And that's where a lot of the spring cleanups went. Now we got it down at where we gotta be, so.
So,
He said,
Mr. Chair,
yes,
so if you're coming down to completion, if we look at, if things are side by side, apple to apples, I suppose, in that respect, look at some numbers. Republic being the highest, Smith being the second highest, A1 being the lowest, but Republic, the difference in Republic and A1 is about $14,000. Over 14,000 for the year, for the life of the contract. The difference with Republic and Smith is 137,000 for the life of the contract. The difference in A1 and Smith is about 6,500. So, I mean, however you make your choice, service, what we get for the service and price, just need to pay attention to. If there's something wrong with the service that we're getting now, and you're willing to pay more to fix the problem, I don't think I want to pay, 14,000 or 100 to fix that. problem. There is some, some similarities with Smith and A1. I gotta admit, there's some similarities, $6,000 more, 6,500. But I guess if there's some extra that he threw into his bid, maybe it would come out.
I know that, I see that, Smith has included the spring cleanup for us in there.
It's not the same.
Republic has, we'll take mattresses, those are points I like.
No, also,
They're very costly.
during your pickup, large items, the other two candidates pick up the bigger things. They pick up appliances and couches, and you can't.
And sure, at your call, at the township's office, correct?
Right.
Well,
Right.
we could arrange it to where you could either opt to pay it or opt not to pay it. We just opt to say the two sticker items, which is the larger items. On a lot of townships, those are the homeowner's responsibility, not the township's responsibility. So we try to save you money on opting out of that. So, but if you have a problem child or something, and one of the other things on our bid is we're gonna put the cameras and everything out there, so we can take a picture, send it to the zoning, send it to the board and say, if you'd like us to pick this up, we'll pick it up. If you wanna go back on a homeowner, write the homeowner a letter, make the homeowner pay, that just saves over the life of the contract, just saves the township.
Well, it does. I guess it's a difference if we thought your couches and your appliances were important to be picked up throughout the year, opposed to just the summer. But see, here's the other thing. If he doesn't pick up those particular large items during the year, if we go by his bid with the large item out here, we're looking for the homeowners to bring appliances here. That's not gonna happen. So then if we tweak his bid, then we're either the homeowner is gonna pay for those or he's gonna find a way for us to. We're gonna have
If somebody abandoned it on the side of the road, we'll take a picture of it. Say, do you authorize us to pick up? Because nobody's ever gonna grab it. But if there's a homeowner who's throwing them out there and you're just, let's say it's a rental property, for example, and the renter's thrown out there, you can contact the landlord and say, hey, you need to call Smith and make arrangements for them to pick it up.
Right.
And we'll be in contact with your zoning guy, Chris, so it's like, and with the board, we can send the pictures and say, we see this out, it's been out here for 2 weeks, what would you like us to do with it? And then you can opt to whether say, okay, here's the homeowners out, you call them, or the township. That's something we could tweak.
So this is over and above the spring cleanup, or is this during the spring cleanup?
Spring cleanup is completely separate. Okay. We're talking the weekly bulk pickup, the stuff they throw on.
Right, the weekly bulk is, because in a rental house, you're gonna get the refrigerators and couches and more. And he won't be picking those up.
But when we're talking about a rental clean out, we don't wanna touch a rental.
No, not a rental clean out. No, not a rental clean out. What I'm saying is during our large item pickup once a month, there's some of the things he won't pick up. And which are the appliances and couches. So
Free.
right. So somebody's gonna pay for those. Either we pay for them or the homeowners will pay for them.
It's like we pay for them through the sticker system, now we pay.
Right. So, but we do get rid of them.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's only $8. $8 a stick.
Yeah.
Up to 16.
Yeah, you can.
Over the past duration of working for Weber Township, the zoning administrator, the treasurer, different people represented in the board called and says there's a couch in the ditch, there's a mattress piled up here. We've gladly went out, picked those large items up, disposed of them and not charged anything, zero charge to the township because they were dumped out of somebody's pickup and they were just left abandoned on the road. Or they're at an abandoned house site and there's somebody's cleaned out stuff and made a big pile of mess. Again, we went to those locations and cleaned them up for the township and never billed the township. We didn't, as part of our responsibility of cleaning up. We also, the bags that are sitting on the side of the road, black bags, white bags, it is kind of, like he said, it's unspoken. Our garbage guys, I don't want you to feel like it's falling off the back of the truck. Sometimes a resident will call in and say there's a bag outside the road. We rush out and come and pick it up. We've done that for years and years and years. And I know I've worked with Pat many times, that when she's called and says, there's something here, we were right on the spot, getting taken care of it. I also want to clarify something that you probably look into. We operate a transfer station in the city. In our transfer station, I have a letter showing that we're in full compliance and I have a piece of property down here that we are not a transfer station and we don't operate a transfer station. And we eliminated everything going on there as far as our own use. And it is our property. We use it to transfer from our small truck to our big truck. And that's the only thing we use it for. We're not open to the public. And that's, if you were asking about property in the county, that's what that Jim Staley is talking about. I've met Jim Staley at the property. I worked with James Staley because I've owned and operated the Osceola County landfill since 2010. I've been involved with the Osceola County landfill since 2003. And that facility is, I can give you our last compliance letter shows that we're 100% compliance and have been for a long time. Just to clarify that. Our transfer station has only been improving, and it is in 100% compliance and has been. Okay.
John had his hand up for.
As far as trying to make a homeowner pay for stuff, I think it's an absolute no-go. Look at people already done because they set stuff out. Where do you find it? They take it out and they dump it. I think in all these bids, no matter what, that stuff needs to be picked up because it's like he said, where do you find it? How many places did you find last year? People back their pickup bid and dump. You see it all the time. It's like a couple of years when you had the trash pickup here. I'm riding around in my pickup, picking crap up out of the ditch because people are dumping it. You know, I mean, to me, it's like a lot of homeowners aren't going to pay. You already know that. That's why they dump it.
I just want to ask one question from everybody, just because like being a homeowner. So I would like to know, how many people do you have work for you will be doing this job?
Right now, there's like 6 of us.
And can I ask you, how much do you pay them hourly? And do they have benefits?
They do not have benefits, but they are Lake Town residents. Yeah, and we pay them we pay them well, so.
I don't know.
We don't pay as well as Republic, but we do provide a good revenue.
Please still for the rest of the public.
We compensate our employees. I don't have.
There's a range of what their job is. I mean, they could be minimum wage and it could be $20, $25 an hour. It just all depends on what their job is.
I'm only asking because of it, like the garbage is creating jobs in our communities and stuff like that. I've heard about one of the garbage services here paying $10 an hour in cash. And
Our CDL drivers make more money, but our jumpers who
yeah,
are, but we do our CDL drivers, we pay CDL wages, but our jumpers that are fairly, and this is with anybody, that aren't quite that reliable, they start out at a low wage, and if they work themselves up, then we start paying them more money. So to say how much it is an hour, it's like, we try to find good quality. I need somebody that's gonna show up every day, on time, stick with it, and not be calling in sick, and if they do all that, then heck yeah, I'm gonna bump their pay up, but I'm not gonna start them out at top wage and hope they perform, so.
I'm just only asking because like as a taxpayer, like when I hear that one of the companies is paying like $10 an hour cash for these guys and like, that is it's true though.
So
what is?
You might want to consider the source of this stuff.
So what is Republic pay?
Yeah,
I'm a resident, I have the right to know that what my taxpayer money goes to should.
Yeah.
be
we pay CDL drivers a premium wage. We have experienced help to make more than the young hoppers that start off. And some of the hoppers some of them have a hard time making it 1 day a week. And they just are compensated according to their skills. And it's nothing that should be analyzed to. We're actually trying to work with some fairly handicapped and some fairly impoverished people that are trying to encourage them to work. We give them a starter job, and then it's up to them if they can perform. We also have trained in the last 10 years, probably 18 people to be able to get CDLs. And that's helping them because now they can take their CDLs and go anywhere. And I've trained a lot of them myself. And that's helping. And we employ a lot of people from Lake County. Our total employees is 30 people. We have backups and standby people, and we have standby equipment. Our company has extra trucks. If in the wintertime, if one truck breaks down, you need to have the extra equipment.
So you're not using the Penske trucks anymore?
Our trucks are dated from 2018, 2021. And we own our own fleet of box trucks, and we've owned them. And we've also leased 2 trucks, and we normally keep those trucks as a backup truck. Truck has a flat tire in the morning. If a truck isn't running correctly, we have a rented truck sitting in our yard that can come out and be a backup. Our Packer trucks, we have, currently we have 12 licensed trucks, and on this particular job, we need 3 Packers. We have one that's set for transfer, we have 2 that are out with a hopper. So we currently use 8 people to do township pickup, 8 personnel and 6 trucks.
You know, I think Independence started this when we started this whole trash pickup, right? Then did we get the first contract we ever had? Okay, how many years has that been? Since 2019? Was it 19? 11.
2011.
How many years has it been now?
12 years.
12 years.
You know, unless we've had 150 million complaints about them, they do a good job. I'm telling you, I got the red tickets right here in my hand. I've called them, put tickets on stuff, and they come right out and pick it up. And you have to look. We've been happy with them. I don't think there's that many complaints.
I beg to differ. I answered the phone and yes, there are a lot.
We're not gonna debate.
Yeah.
Well, I'm at the other end of the phone. If there's complaints, I take the
I'll
call.
text him, I'll text him, if I get a complaint, I'll text him, and he does take care of it.
Right.
But there's a lot of complaints.
Well, I have all the texts you sent me, and I'm.
I know, there hasn't been, that with me lately, I don't know if they've got.
Yes, we get complaints, and the last time that we got a complaint, remember, you had to come down here. The lady, one of our weekend people called to complain about because they wanted to buy a $300 Bear garbage can. And she called your company and talked to your receptionist, and she said the lady was extremely rude. I still have a letter from her. She was extremely rude to her, and you told her, no, you have to pay for the bags, you can't have that, blah, blah, blah. And then you came in here, and you were upset, and I was just trying to explain to you that a lot of our complaints come in from the people who have the campers, that people that have the vacant land, because they want to be able to put out a trash can. If their neighbor has a residence, they're allowed to get their trash picked up, but that vacant property next door to it, you wouldn't pick it up. And then you came in here and said you would, and it just, we've had a lot of complaints.
Okay, before you go, hey,
To clarify,
Daryl, hold on.
to clarify,
How will the other applicants handle that?
Well, he said he would pick up, and he said that he couldn't.
I'm just saying, you got a blue bag or a can, there's no in between. So they may not like the rule at first, but there's a line in the sand, it's one or the other. So.
you want, you have a huge advantage that benefits the township, that give campers blue bags. Because how many people show up camping without a camping permit? Are you recognizing campers without camping permits?
You have
Are
nothing
you-
to do with that.
Are you busting that? That's the only thing I'm saying. If you are, we could change the rules. But the rules have always been for the last 12 years that were one way. We just designed the system to accommodate campers. They can rent a car, we provide it.
We
We
didn't
can,
offer that lady that.
that's not true.
We're not gonna get into it.
Yeah. That's not.
Well, I'm just
that's-
saying, I'm just saying.
Most of these things,
Saying you're gonna-
I beg to differ. My whole opinion of this situation is totally different than the state's.
Daryl, so a camper can rent a car, can a camper rent a car?
Or they can provide their own car.
They can provide their own. Oh,
They
okay,
want, we would offer that.
you would offer them,
Yeah.
because it'd be uniform to your
But if
other.
they want it included in this bid, they just.
And we've rented cars to many campers before. We have a list of people that we rent cars to. And they're happy with it, they paid rent, and they were made aware of it. And we've also provided with bags, and campers are using bags. And we've had some campers way down the two-track, as this particular one was, we can't access it with our equipment. It's way back on the two-track.
So let me ask, the campers have increased a little bit.
Yes.
So, the campers, if when you pick up from them, they're not in this, 478 number. So as long as it doesn't get to be too many campers, you're not picking up that many bags more than what you bid it for.
Well, in my personal opinion of doing it for the last 4 years is this. Campers increased from 30 to 40 campers to almost in the summertime, close to 250 campers. The volume quadrupled. And the reason is people were off work, came up here, recreational property, and you had, and it happened in Weber, Pleasant Plains, Yates, Cherry Valley, all through northern Michigan, had a huge increase in campers that showed up. Well, the camper that showed up that has way back in the woods wants to provide their can in their own can to throw trash in it. You don't want that. The bear comes along, grabs it, throws it all down the road. And now they're mad because we didn't pick up the trash. Number one, we don't know when they're there. They're not there every week. I can't send a truck down looking for it every week when they only show up a half a dozen times a year. It's very impractical. I don't want to pass the cost of doing that business onto the township. We have to create some type of uniformity. Uniformity is by providing them a cart, and if they're paying for it, I can afford to go there because they paid for it. When we bid this contract, we didn't bid this guess at how many campers would show up. We don't know when they're here, we don't know when they're not, and Ernie, you pointed out to me last time, the campers bring up their waste from downstate and pile on mattresses and couches and big piles of debris right along.
So it's gotta come from somewhere.
Yeah, it's gotta come from somewhere, it shows up in front of a camper. Well, what are you gonna do with this big pile of debris and trash? Lots of times the townships ask us to clean it up and we clean it up. But you gotta have some kind of policing of the campers, because a lot of them don't wanna, they say, I own the land, I don't wanna pay a camping permit. And that's what they tell us. We tell them they have to get a camping permit if you wanna get trash service provided. I think we're trying to help.
Have we heard enough from everybody?
Well, it's just, yeah, I guess so, just, for instance, if I looked at A1 and Smith, A1 has a 2% increase per year, Smith has a 3. They're almost apples to apples for a lot of things. See, Smith throws in some extras. Also, I do have a little concern about the large item pickup part of it, because that is gonna come back. It's gonna show itself, even though we contend that there's been a lot of large items taken out of the township, and there shouldn't be too many left. Well, we've been having large items picked up, let's say for the past 4 years, once a month, and we still have a large item pickup in South. They still have quite a bit of stuff. So.
I would like to make a recommendation. I would like to recommend that we accept the bid for a public and that we don't do a large item pickup in the spring, that we just stick with this bid. That would be my recommendation.
Is that because of the numbers? Let's see.
I can make a motion if we would like to entertain it.
Well,
Okay, I have a real concern about the numbers. A real concern, because if we go with a bid that's based on 400 some, but we have a history of 1100 some, we're gonna be in, I mean, it's gonna be big time.
What will happen is we'll have to pass a resolution to increase that set.
So, I mean, so
That's-
we
that
need to
doesn't-
look at the
That's
contract
decided.
after a year, we can make that agreement that we can look into the contract and make sure that the bid that they put in is fair for both the township and the company.
The
Okay.
assessment has to
And
be
with-
no matter what, the assessment has to be.
Yeah.
No matter what we do.
Right, but with A1, am I correct that even though you know you're picking up almost twice or 3 times as much, your bid is based on?
I qualified my bid when I submitted it. It says that we are picking up the over 1,000 feet, because we know we are, based on the volume, based on the time, based on the carts that we've distributed. We know we're doing it, and all I was trying to do was help the board tell the other bidders that that's what they're gonna face when they get out there.
Yeah,
Because
go
to
ahead.
dispose of 30 tons of trash a week, that's a task. We have a advantage because we own a commercial transfer station open 5 days a week in the summertime, 3 days a week in the wintertime. The public has advantage because they have a landfill, you know, and everybody has to get rid of their trash somewhere. All of our trash is legally disposed of. Our transfer station runs 100% in compliance. We've been open, our transfer station runs under Eagle and has 4 interviews a year when Jim Staley comes right to our facility and gives us a site evaluation 4 times a year.
Mr. Chair, maybe, I don't know, Kelly, I don't mind if you give me some understanding with your proposal for Republic is. I don't mind if you tell me.
Mainly, it's cost included. So when we look at his bid, we know upfront what we're going to pay for everything. And I say that because there's no additional ticket costs, there's no additional spring cleanups. The form that he has laid out for their gas charges is right here, clean cut, you know exactly what you're going to be paying. And I think that in the long run, we would save money by spending the extra fees than what we would had we done something, had we gone with a company that has additional costs that were unforeseen.
Now, the 2 companies that are local, I seem to feel they're adequate for our needs. I think they're tailored to our needs. It's real difficult, and I'm not against the public,
Yes.
but it's real difficult for me to, there's a difference Republicans gonna hit us for $143,000 more than the other people.
Well, what are
That
gas
would break our record.
Well, and
What
that's
are
true.
big items that's gonna cost?
Right.
Is spring cleanup gonna cost?
They would have to be very big, very large. They would have to be very large to touch the
I
hundred.
mean, last year was 21.
Right.
Can I give a statement? When we went out and did a 6-day cleanup with front end loader and
You'll have to
six
double it,
personnel
$50.
for 4-5 days a month, that total cost was for pulling waste out of piles. We filled 30-yard dumpsters on different properties, and we pulled for $21,000 a year. Even if you did that 3 years in a row, that's a total of $63,000. And that was a month-long cleanup. It moved, average of 12 to 14, 30 to 40-yard dumpsters of trash away, and we did a huge amount. You can't even imagine the volume of trash that we hauled away, because we used crews and township, the zoning administrator and Ernie, and lots of people participated. There was probably a minimum of 8 people out there every week to 10 people every week, times not 1 day a year, times 6 days, 6 days a year. And we picked up and filled the dumpsters up with the trash. That's why it cost $21,000. You did a 1-day cleanup this year, and it cost, I believe it was around $8,000 for 1 day. When I did a one day, actually I did a 2-day back in 2019, it cost $4,700 extra for that 1-day cleanup. So Republic is it included?
Spring cleanup is not.
My suggestion was
Her
that we
suggestion
don't
is
do
what
spring cleanup.
a lot of townships,
Oh, just not avoid
Just
that.
not do it
because
because
we're collecting it all.
the
Every
things
week,
that
right.
we're picking up, the things that we're doing spring cleanup
Right.
for, they're coming
Okay.
to fix up.
So your last 4-year history is you did about 1,200 stickers over the last 4 years. That cost is like $9,000 for a 4-year period. So you're gonna pay $130,000 extra for a $9,000 value.
Well, and actually that goes to what I was saying before, that's an unforeseen cost. At the end of the day, we don't know what that's gonna cost. And you take a
You
look
have
at
your
this.
track history. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Your history shows that we picked up this much over a 4-year period.
But like you said, with the bid that we got for this year, the cleanup that we did this year, we were under the impression that it was going to run 6,000, ended up being 8,000, so an additional $2,000 that was unforeseen.
We knew that there was gonna be cost for mattresses. Extra on top of that, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
Pick up how many?
There was no additional charges other than the mattresses. So we came in on bid, but there were,
Plus
and if you wanna see the
That was
mattresses,
in
they're
the-
still in my warehouse, so there's over a couple hundred of them. I
I
haven't had time to process them yet, so.
Yeah, but that's to my point though, those items will be picked up on a monthly basis with the other company.
Some of the problem with that is when you picked up this summer, you picked up a lot of stuff.
Yes, we did.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna need a large item pickup still.
But it's-
I don't think we can
still have
eliminate it.
We would still have it, we have it on a monthly basis.
Well, I think if we didn't have it, we would have to advertise more to say that whatever Tuesday of the month.
The
It's a
spring,
large item day that they can get it picked up every month. So
Well-
that needs to be advertised a little bit more.
Yeah, but I'm trying to show the need to have a large item pickup every month and in spring, it seems like.
okay, the spring cleanup, the way we worded it, if you wanna go above and beyond that and do the pickup, we can do that. This was just included in there to help alleviate a majority of what we're talking about right now.
Oh, yeah, see, and actually, I'm not, and I appreciate that, I'm not talking about that part. But I'm saying, whatever we do, either they bring it here or you pick it from their home, I think the need is still here in the spring.
We're willing to copy.
So I don't think just having it once a month on Tuesdays is gonna get rid of enough stuff, because we can see that there's always a lot left over.
Remember, one of them is gonna be picking up the campers, and we do have lots of people who complain about they pay the same as what a homeowner pays.
Yeah.
And they're not offered as of right now, the same service as what a homeowner would be paid. So when we talk about what is the difference, well, the difference is when you think about the complaints that we have, one of these guys is actually solving the majority of the complaints that come into here are.
But that's all assessment for all residential properties.
But we don't know if there's gonna be complaints with the other two, if the other two are in this township, it's gonna be just as many complaints. So you're only basing it on one trash hauler, right? And it's the only one we've ever had.
I'm just saying, because one of them said that they pick up for that, and then, so, he says, like, you say the blue bags, which I understand, but we paid how much for the blue bags?
No, you pay $520 for a case of blue bags, and you use a case a year. So it's $500 a year.
No, it's a little more than that, but,
If you-
I thought it was like $2,000.
What do
I'm
you have?
sorry, I'm just, regardless of how much is a case for me, but.
$260 a bag, $250 in a case, so.
I think it's 5 something.
We're charging the same price per bag.
Yeah, $6.50 a case
Yeah.
for a public.
Is the problem with this that, so campers come in, usually weekends, right? Where do they get their bags?
Well, they're supposed to get them up from up here when they get there. The problem is, remember, people come up on the weekends, we're not open.
Exactly, that's what I was just saying.
But there's discussion at a public meeting that the bags are supposed to be distributed by the zoning administrator on the weekends. And
Yeah,
then he was gonna start doing that this summer, so they have capability of getting them.
Which he has, but what I'm saying is, when you have one person, and I'm just taking it as from being in here, as a. I'm just taking it as that when people call here and they complain about our trash service, 7 times out of 10, it's somebody who has a camper, doesn't feel that currently they're being heard. I'm just saying, if one of the other people are going to do the pickups and those things.
So
That's the difference.
if we could, to try to address, if we're gonna try to fix that, we'd have to offer camper bags, okay, blue bags at no cost. Right.
You're currently supplying stickers and bags to campers and all residents. And we mail them out to residents, costs us to mail them out, costs us to provide them. They get a mattress that you paid at your spring cleanup, costs $40. When we pick up a mattress for $8 to $16 for the size of it, it's $8 to $16. You get 2 items picked up. We're picking up 2 items a month, not one.
He charges $15.
Yes, $16 for 2 items, not 1 item.
Well, and also, just for the board's knowledge, when you have, if you add in the cost of the spring cleanup, if we are running in a $20,000 range, the 2 bids for A1 and Republic are literally only $8 difference for the month.
Well,
You don't need to do that anymore.
Well, I mean,
those days are gone. We were trying to spend down that fund equity that we're not supposed to have, that assessment. Those days are gone. We're only gonna be allowed a spring cleanup, a weekend, or one Saturday.
So you're gonna reduce what the time we do it and how much we pay for it. Yeah. Okay.
I ask a question? Does Republican pick up campers?
Yes, they would do the food bags.
You do that, okay. So you do pick up a campsite? Okay.
And so do we.
Yeah, all you do.
Yeah, they all
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is to your benefit, because campers don't let anybody know where they're at until they call in. And when they call in, we communicate with them. And there was one bad situation, but I don't have any other complaints about campers that I've worked on in the whole last year at all.
Well, that's what we tell people that.
Right.
If you're not gonna be up here every week or whatever, just call
We-
and say
we've
you're up
act-
here.
We've acted as your responsible party when you have a problem, whoever township has a problem, you're supposed to call us. We deal with the problem. We go out and talk to people. I come out personally and talk to people. I solve the problem. I find out what's wrong with the situation and come up with a solution.
So, I live on a private road.
Yeah.
I need to haul my trash out to the main road. Is that required of campers, or are you driving?
We designate locations that we can access with our equipment. A lot of the campers live are on 2 tracks way back west. They say, I own this parcel of land, this is the little 2 track out here, and believe me, it's hard to get a vehicle down some of these 2 tracks to get there. You can't take a packer down there, you can take a smaller truck.
So
So-
how would, I'm sorry,
We-
how would the others handle that?
What we do is communicate with them and let them know where they can put the trash. And everybody would have to do the same thing. They'd have to bring it out where our trucks could access it. Everybody has to do the same thing. And we communicate with the campers and tell them where they can deposit their trash.
It's
You guys want to weigh in?
case by case scenario. I mean, there's gonna be some learning on both ends from the resident and the Republican Smith on what works, what can we do? What can, and we're gonna do everything we can to collect it, but there needs to be a reasonable approach and understanding that, yeah, if there's some 2 track that's sandy and 4 foot narrow, we're not gonna be able to get a truck down, so let's work together on a solution.
So
Where we
that
can-
person would have basically had the same issue regardless of who was servicing
I'm
them.
guessing it's probably.
Okay, yeah.
So are we ready to entertain a motion?
Yes, I'm ready to entertain a motion.
I would like to make the motion that we accept the bid from Republic if we do not do a.
For support.
I'll support.
Look to one because of the assessment.
Is there any discussion?
My discussion is, I like the Republic guy, but I can't pay $123,000 more for the same service I'm getting from you guys.
But there's a lot of things, some service, you pay, how many times have you went shopping and there's something more expensive than the other one?
Right.
Okay, if you bought the cheaper one,
Yeah.
then in the end, you almost sometimes push it gone.
Oh, you're right.
There's things that maybe I have discussed that we can bring to the table that maybe some other companies can't. There's a reason why you're all Reed City, Big Rapids. We have 40-some municipalities in northern Michigan. Were we always the lowest bidder? No, we provide a quality service. We train our drivers well. We can't go as low because again, we're paying better, we're offering rolling fees, we're training better. We're running a clean landfill that is operating correctly. There's a lot of expenses that we kind of have, we're keeping younger fleets. There's a lot of things we're bringing. That's the reason why we cost some more.
Right.
And so, it's about what's important for the board. I would understand that cost is always important, but understand there's a reason why our bid is.
And I make reference to, the cost.
I know.
But I don't doubt your good service, but from what we've used both, candidates for different things and they have adequate service for the area.
That's true.
Okay, they give us what we need. So, you know, I'm bouncing between two candidates that we've used before, okay, version. I don't see the need to go outside of that, pay that much more, unless you're getting so much more. I'm gonna agree with you. You know, the thing is, the difference in the two candidates here, the local candidates is $6,000. That's the difference. But their services are pretty much, you know, neck to neck.
This is a tough decision. This is not easy. This is the first time we really got into the meat.
People don't know a lot of that difference, a lot of that difference is gonna be made up when they should be have to pay for it.
Let me make a mention of one thing. We've installed and put in place the carts. And we did it over long-term investment because we originally got the 3 and 4 year contracts way back and started. Those carts are in place. We've repaired and replaced them as the customers needed at no cost to the township. We've maintained them for years and years and years. We've also worked with the township for years and years and years. We should have a good reputation with this township. We also service over 10,000 people in the Osceola Lake, northern Newaygo and northern Acosta County. And we also operated a state transfer station established back in 2010. So these all provide services, and our staff has backup trucks, backup equipment.
We have a motion on the floor. I need to interrupt you. We have a motion.
Okay, thank you.
We do a roll call, please.
Ellen? Yes. Pat?
Yes.
Dan?
No.
Deb? No. Ernie?
No. Entertain another motion.
I'm gonna entertain a motion, unless, and I'll entertain a motion, but when you ask for the discussion, it'd be a good opportunity for someone to help me gain some differences in the two local carriers, more differences more than I already have. I'm going to entertain a motion to accept the bid of A1 as our refuge hauler.
I'll support.
Any discussion?
My one question is, they did suggest that they can carry on with the, project that we currently have. So we're making a motion on, are we making it on the new bid?
It's going to be on his new bid. But it's going to be my motion is for the new bid, the price that he gave now. But it's going to be for 3 years if we still think that's adequate. Because he put 4 years, but we'll just drop a year off. Unless you want to take his full bid that includes 4 years.
When I added them up, I just added 3 years worth of all three.
Okay, because you called for 3, so if you want to just stick with 3. That my motion is for a 3-year contract with A1. And the services are so similar. There is a $6,000 difference. A1 is $6,000 cheaper. I get it that Smith may have some additional freebies in there. Unless somebody sees.
Well, I thought was a good exciting factor was the fact that Smith has included a spring cleanup for us. Where A1 is extra.
Providing.
I was like, that's very attractive.
It's attractive. Providing is when I spoke earlier about that at the beginning of the meeting, it's less than a normal spring cleanup. So we're gonna it's 80 yards less than this last one. So unless we're reducing our waste so much we don't need. Well, because otherwise you're gonna be, if this spring cleanup in this bid is not adequate, you're gonna be paying for the extras anyway.
Yeah. Oh, part of that. I think that's the only
Smith has
aspect of that.
recycling also.
What's that?
Smith has recycling in the township. too.
Yeah,
Oh, that's another thing, yeah.
yeah, it's all for recycling. It's current, or is it coming?
Upon the bid, we're gonna invest more. We are currently recycling metal and cardboard, but we're gonna buy the balers, so we're gonna offer more options, yes.
When you say recycling, that's for customers to just bring whatever else.
For Weber Township residents, yeah, they'll have access to the recycler, so.
We've been providing recycling once a month. And it's available here, and we have it also. It is an extra upcharge for recycling. And we currently are recycling, and we currently recycle glass, plastic, tin cans, cardboard, and paper. And we sort them, and there's a site that we do it once a month at Pleasant Plains. Again, we've offered many times to people from Weber, Sweetwater.
We were told that we are not allowed to use the Pleasant Plains recycling.
Well, talk to Kevin Brady, the supervisor right now.
He's the one that said it.
Well, I've talked to him and asked him to allow, and they're more than willing. And another thing too, is they have a cost of approximately $700 to $800 a month that they pay for that service. We employ the people, we send the trucks, we collect the recyclables, we ship them there, and we're only asking to recoup our cost on the transportation of it, which we go right on site to do.
Okay, sorry. Like I already said, one of the differences, again, Smith begins at $4 for his fuel charge. A1 begins at $4.30.
We have a cost, Smith charges $40 a mattress, we charge $8 to $16.
Where do you get those numbers from?
I think it was on your spring thing.
It's $15, I mentioned that, we were standing
Okay,
there saying.
$15.
I don't want to do that. What I'm trying to say is, one of the other differences is, we don't start paying the surcharge for A1 until we hit $4.30. But at $4, we start paying for Smith gas surcharge.
Also, the surcharge is $80 a day opposed to
I'm taking that in estimation over a 25-cent increase. After 25 cents of increase, it should be $70, $80. If you look at theirs, it's close to $50. It is what he said, $25 for every 25 cents. To match up to our 25 cents, you gotta go to $4.55. He starts at $4.50. $4.
Did I misunderstand that it's $25 a day?
$25 a day for $4.25. That's, and then go to $4.50. It would be $50.
Okay, let's move on.
May I make a comment? It seems like you're stuck on that $6,000 extra fee.
That is one factor.
Okay, Mr. Treasurer. What's the additional cost for the blue bags and the stickers
It's $250.
over the year?
He said each sticker is $8, well, he said.
Well, I'm just saying, how about a total for the year? What is the charge?
20, it was $4,300, $4,300 for the stickers. And then for the, what was the other thing?
That was-
the blue bags.
Was that annual?
No,
Yeah.
it's over a 24-month period.
Yes.
Okay, so 2,000 for the stickers. And then I believe we did one box of green bag or blue bags, which was 500.
And we're not requiring that anymore. So that should take off
Take off two.
Adjust your permit.
No.
2,500.
And the hassle of not having to have the zoning guy make arrangements. The
So then-
campers don't have to call in.
So
I
then
mean,
they would just go put their black bags up there.
they can put their black bags up there, it'd be nice for courtesy, if when the animals do get into it, to text, like you said, text us or email the township or us and say, hey, we're here. Boom, it's animals. And that's all part of the bid where it says make special arrangements.
Let's go for a roll call, please.
Motion is on the table.
Roll call, please.
Kelly? No. Yeah. No. Dan?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Green?
No.
Motion has failed.
I'll make a motion to, do the dumpsters.
Any discussion on that? Smith dumpsters for the contract, Matt Williams made the motion, Charlie Zero supported it. Or is there any discussion on the floor? Roll call, please.
Kelly? No. Pat?
Yes.
Dan?
No.
Deb? No. Ernie?
Yes. Fail.
Motion failed.
So
I-
back to the
I think we need to. I feel like I'm at such a disadvantage here. I mean, I just took this role at 1:30 this afternoon. I have not had a chance to really look at any of these. I don't know, I should be refusing myself.
Can we do something with it on the 27th? Yeah, because she hasn't read it.
Well, what are you looking to do? Get a change?
No, I know.
No, we're gonna have
Because, is there any new information coming forward?
Postpone
Because all you're looking for is somebody to change their mind.
probably to change their mind. I will change my mind if we do another vote.
May I have a motion?
Can you just put a motion on the floor?
I make a motion that we accepted it from our public services, if we do not carry on with a summer cleanup.
There's support,
I'll support.
Join Kewen, Matt Williams. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Kelly?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
Dan?
No.
Deb? No. Ernie?
Yes.
Motion carries.
So you got it,
Congratulations.
the public. Did,
Thank you for that.
holy shit.
But you can't be changing what you put a bid in on.
Huh?
You're not supposed to change what you put a bid on.
Oh, there goes our taxes.
Yeah, I was just wondering if any of the boards and guys would be able to have it. So is it complete at this point?
That's a lot of money.
Four done,
Yes.
then yes. If it is up, let it go.
So I guess my question is, it does not look very nice. My
Who
question
voted
is,
for this shit?
what is the process that we follow
When you don't like it,
when we don't like it? I'm just bringing this to the attention of the board, if everyone, when you get an opportunity, if you can just pop out there and take a look. There are
Change his vote.
exhibits, it's not smooth, the lines don't meet, they're really, there will be sections where it will hold water. It's not very pleasing to the eye. I don't know much about concrete, if anyone else could take a look, then, I'm just bringing it to the attention, I think maybe it should be addressed.
How much much money do we have in a refuge fund?
What, did you, did we send the last payment to the,
No.
That was gonna be my next question.
We gave half down to, get the concrete, and the other half is paid when it gets done.
So I would like to formally request that we hold that last payment until everybody has an opportunity to take a look. And,
Maybe he's happy or satisfied.
yeah,
Okay.
so in that contract, we didn't talk about, it's not as extensive as our contract with the card, but if there's some issues we have,
Right, we did not really have a contract, we just had.
it's a bid. So I guess you just don't pay until you're satisfied.
Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, you would have to come back and satisfy you, you know, somewhat, right?
Yeah.
And
Just
just, I
saying that could
think
be
that
done.
there should be a level of quality. You know, I think there's a reasonable expectation that something will be done nicely, properly.
Does it look like we took too low of a bid?
Like I said, I'm not a professional contractor. I'm just saying that I went to it today and you can see pools where we will see sections where there will be pooling, sections where the board is and the concrete are that don't meet, you know, it's jagged. The lines are the two concrete, so it was parted in three separate sections. You can see the line for the two, for the approach. The lines are squiggly all the way up. I'm just saying, you know, it's gonna be able to take a look at it.
I got a quick question on that. Thank you for checking it out. That's a lot.
Yes,
But when was the slab poured, do you know?
just yesterday or
The day before Wednesday.
He did the first floor.
Yeah, well, and that's why I asked. I don't know if it's complete yet, and I just wanted to bring it to the attention of everyone else, that if that's our finished product, we need to know.
Okay, so when was the slab poured?
I believe the second slab and the approach was poured Tuesday, between Tuesday or Wednesday.
Ernie, why didn't you go out and look at it?
I did. I didn't go all over this last floor.
Why?
I wasn't around.
Who gives us the feedback? Does Sam look at it and tell us everything was good? So he hasn't assessed it yet himself? Or not? I mean, didn't the contractor go through Sam or not?
No,
Oh, okay.
like Sam pointed out that the one floor was
Well, so since we don't have anything extensive in the contract, I guess we're looking and saying, well, you gotta make it better.
That doesn't include a big item pickup, does it?
How did he do that? Just pour it all up?
get all on the guy, and not happy, then we'll get you that right.
What, it'll peel off? It'll like peel off or something?
It is in the code that water, concrete can't be water. So,
Oh, so we need, so when it is cold.
yeah, maybe do that, but if you don't have a contract, you don't have a reason to hold retention of the money, because you didn't tell them how you wanted it.
That's what I'm thinking too,
You
yeah.
know, you kind of stuff.
You're right.
What was
Let's
in the
look at the
bid?
invoice first. And
What
see
was
if
in
it's
the bid?
written on.
Well, if he
Yeah, and number
says,
one, if it's not gonna be cold, like that seems like the
right,
main thing.
That's a start.
Yeah.
right, right.
Quality.
So we should pull up, we should pull up this bid and see what's on there.
There's a code and then there's a standard.
Which standards?
The standard says.
We have to buy a cart.
It also says it's gotta be flat.
Right.
And pitched to.
Right. So anything other than that, he can come back and say, well, you guys said you just wanted it. You didn't give a bunch of specs.
Right.
Except they gotta meet those standards and code.
Yeah, well.
So we're saying that it don't look good to us. He's saying it looked good to me.
Why would you?
This is all you guys asked for.
Let's see what has been said first before we start. proceeding.
Well, my question is, why are we working on bids, not contracts?
So what was the amount of this project?
9,000?
8,000.
Was it 8,000?
When do we require the contract?
Tell her next year.
How many?
I don't remember, was it 8,500 or it was 9,000 each?
Oh, no, she has, I think it's 15 or 20,000 when you start flying.
No, that one's, there was two.
Oh,
we
this
did.
is-
No, she asked, when do we start acquiring contracts? When do we?
Yeah.
I think it's 20,000.
I think it's 50. I thought it was
15? Okay.
No, we got public comments. Anybody?
I do. I'm gonna say something.
Okay.
I've been holding back. So there was 3 bids on the floor.
Yes.
You took the most expensive one, which means our taxes are going up.
Yes.
Thank you. But he doesn't do spring cleanup. But this township, all 3 of them were gonna do it all year long. Right, Pat?
No, not to the degree.
No.
It was.
They were gonna do large item pickup once a month. So that's all year
But
long.
we're not paying them for that, we're paying those two.
Right. It's needed here.
And
It
it was.
is, but it'll be provided, free.
No,
It's
it's
a
in
cost,
the
it's
bid.
a cost.
It's in the bid.
But you know what, we're gonna have.
It's not, it's public comment. It's in the bid of 613,000. So our taxes are going up. There was no thought process there. Don't look at me like that.
Well, don't say there was no thought process when we had spreadsheets and answers for all the money was gonna go up.
There was no thought process.
It's public time.
That's why we took the week to think through it.
And the other trash hauler, he started in Pleasant Plains and quit halfway. He started in Yates Township and quit halfway. Then they were in a hole having to find a trash hauler, having to accept any bid, and that would have happened here. And seeing that somebody brought up how many employees do you have and what do you pay them, let's talk the facts. Which one of these haulers illegally hauled marijuana waste, dumped it down our sewer, and Eagle is still investigating, not DEQ, Eagle. And he was illegally doing it.
And yet you took his bid. That just goes to show that.
No,
No,
Okay.
it's terrible, terrible, terrible.
I'm okay.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Go ahead, ladies first.
No, because I.
All right, so for each one, you said you'd have to raise the assessment. For independent, it was 52.66, for Smith, it was 53. For Republican, it's 68.79. That's a $16.13 difference that people are gonna have to pay more for their trash. That's not a big deal, it's still a bargain. You know, you can't go anywhere in the country hardly to get it from that. But what's gonna happen is, if you remember when we did this in the beginning, we were not bad at work. And, people would call and complain, and it was a vacant lot owners, and they were threatened with attorneys and everything else. That's what you're gonna have with this $16.13. They're gonna be furious, you know. Doesn't bother me, it's still a bargain, but. Stop my time for a minute. The old man's got to think, but,
I hear you.
oh, shoot.
We can move on.
Yeah, come back.
Nikki?
Okay, I was just gonna say, I agree with Tony a little bit because, like I said, nobody else is in here answering these phones and people, we just upped what taxpayers are gonna pay. And if we think that complaints prior to this about, vacant landowners not getting their trash picked up, and now they have to actually pay more, it's a little, I agree. I think that's a cheap price to have your garbage. But I think something should have been in place for,
maybe when we look at the assessment, we can look at reviewing the vacant land at 50 and then putting the residents up a little bit higher.
Can you do that? I thought
No.
was. I thought it had to be across-
What?
Can you, I thought it was supposed to be across the boards.
Yeah. I thought.
Well, the fire assessment is 1105 for residents and then 1%
Commercial.
for commercial.
Okay.
But it's saying that,
Not with trash.
but it's saying that Republic did say that they can get cans and, you didn't offer that, so, yeah.
I can rent cans. Yeah.
You did- and-
Anybody else?
I think all of them said they would rent.
They all
cans.
said they would rent them.
Yeah, they all would rent them.
It's a hammer now.
My ball went off there.
You remembered it.
If you remember, when the Republic gentleman spoke, I know your company, I'm sure, but he said, someone asked him, I don't remember who, what if there's more than 478 people? He said, well, if we get a few or something, we know that. But then we're gonna, if it gets to be quite a few, we're gonna do an assessment. And you're all listening and we're listening, and he says, and then we're gonna come back to you. But he never
6
finished
months,
his sentence.
it's 6 months.
He never finished his sentence. He's gonna come back to you. And if it was 478, you're picking up 1,100, and he comes back and says, hey, I'm picking up 800 places here. How much more do you think he's gonna charge?
750,000.
He could double. Be a lot. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
He's got us by the balls.
Yeah, now we got it.
Okay, what is the, I guess I'd have to ask the lawyer. If you got a contractor now, Republic, we don't have to put it back up for bids if you say, hey, I'm picking up double. We have to negotiate a new price with them.
Well, and
Right.
especially since we asked everyone that bid, we specifically asked them, are you comfortable with the specs? that
He's
we laid
comfortable
out
with it, correct?
And the bid that you provided? And I think any company would have wanted to look at moving forward if they went from 500 to 1,100.
He's comfortable with it. But he's gonna come back to you if there's 400 more than he's talking about.
He said if it's 600 or more, he would come back and negotiate if it was 600 or more. He says 50, 100, it's okay, we'll deal with it, but if it's at least up to 600 or more, we would have to renegotiate.
And I think that it kind of seems like the other, bid had said that 500 seems roughly correct.
I didn't say 500, I said 11.
I actually don't know. So I certainly-
So here's the question. We took a bid, but when you guys do the contract, can we do something in the contract that will give an out for either party if the bid goes excessive?
That's what I would suggest.
Yes, a way to sever it, it's just way out of our costs, because he will have to go up if he finds certain numbers, and right now, we're gonna pay 143,000 more. It's gonna go up more than that, and we're not gonna get any more grand service for it. But hopefully they'll accept a contract that will allow either party to terminate it if something stringent happens, something weird happens.
And if he doesn't accept it, then do we go back to the bid process?
Yeah, I guess we can do that, right? Because we don't have a. Right. Yeah, I know you'd have to be pretty quick on this, unless the current contract extends.
Right.
You know,
Can
you'd
I
have to.
mention one other factor that got left out of this discussion? There's 1,100 carts that need to be brought back to the township so we can pick them up. Okay? That'll cost somebody some money, okay?
Why do they have to be brought here?
Well, in our original agreement, when we dropped off the cart, we said that we would bring them to the township and give them to you. And if we had to go out and pick them up per cart, it costs $20 a cart to go pick them up. Somebody's gotta pick them up.
You guys really make harsh decisions.
$3
times 1,000, let's just say it's gonna cost 20, put that in your assessment too, so you can afford to pick them up. I gotta get my carts back, I loaned them to the township, I want them back.
My problem is much trouble we have about our zoning not being compliant. He's out of compliance with the county and with the
I'm
township,
going to go.
and everybody's okay with that.
You have proof?
Yes, there's documentation that he made it to the township. I know, but I'm just saying, that's why I'm not voting for him. I'm telling you,
Why didn't you bring that before so everybody?
it was already discussed in a meeting and then all of a sudden
Ernie
it
made
got
the
hushed.
deal.
No, he did not make the deal.
So you did,
No, Al Ross made the
Hey
deal.
guys, I make a motion to.
Adjourn.
I make a motion to.
Second.
good night, folks, it's done.